yeah, congrats to Coach Bull and that staff. Those players at Wyoming, they played a really physical game, did a really good job, running the ball, keeping it out of our hands. Defensively, they gave us fits in the first half and really slowed us down. Did a good job of putting pressure on our quarterback. I thought it was a unique game for us. You don't get to play in a lot of games like that in California, and so that was an element that I thought our team handled pretty well, considering. I'm looking at the clock. It's 17-9 in the fourth quarter, and I'm like, we got a football game here, and is obviously we weren't able to capitalize on that last offensive possession, and we also had and then we needed to stop them. So, but I thought our defense did some really, really good things, and I thought offensively we found some life in the second half. It just wasn't enough.
What was the difference in terms of being able to get the offense to move the ball in the second half?
That's a good question. And I think we had some conversations at halftime about stuff that we thought gave us a chance to collect some of the movement, and and some of that started late in the second quarter too. We started to find some good run game with our zone scheme, but that combination of being able to throw it a little bit, I thought that kind of got us started in that second half when we needed it. So, but I thought there were some good adjustments made. Just like I said, we didn't make enough plays to win it.
Coach, do you think Josh took a lot of hits. I think they only got maybe one official sack, but he kept getting hit and kept getting hit. Do you think that was a key difference too?
I think anytime your quarterback gets hit too much, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I would say it doesn't matter what level you're on, Pop Warner to NFL. If your quarterback's getting hit too much, it's not a good thing.
Defensively, you guys won a turnover battle. How did the turnover battle help keep the team?
Well,
it
kept us in the game. The turnover battle kept us in the game. On the turnover in the first half, the sack or the tackle fumble, we recovered it going into the end zone. They were going in to score right there. So it really kept us in the game, which that's what playing good defense and playing with great effort does for you. And you get those turnovers, and it gives you a chance to be in fourth quarter games. And we've done that a lot this year. I think that's the frustrating part, is that we've done that too much and haven't gotten the result we wanted.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, you don't think the weather was a factor at all either way, or did you?
I'm sure there's kids in our locker room that didn't like playing in that. I'm certain of it. I was talking to Coach before the game. He said last year, Thanksgiving weekend, his players didn't like the 85 degrees in San Jose, California. It's home field advantage is what home field advantage is.
What was Chambers' impact today?
He's a stud, man. He's a stud. Was fantastic running the ball. You saw him throw it accurately. I think they're really smart with a young quarterback like that. They get him comfortable. They get him in the flow of the game, and then they naked him or boot him where he has a run-pass option. He's obviously a really talented runner. You saw some of that in the design quarterback run game, but then you also, the ball he threw at the end was a perfect ball, as good of a ball as you can throw on the move. And so he's a talented kid. He's going to be a good player in his conference for a long time.
Nico Evans for Wyoming had 187.
Yeah.
Moved into sixth place on the all-time single-season list. What do you think of him? Yeah.
He's an absolute stud, and really, I think the hard part for us is that, a lot of those rushing yards came on 2 plays, right? 2 plays that split because we were playing good defense. And, we had I'm not sure the sequence, but we had the one Chambers split in the second half. It was a 7-yard run, or it seemed like he was running forever. And then the one by Evans in the first half was also a big play. We got out of a gap, and that's what happens when you make a mistake like that. The ball finds it. If you're supposed to be in the A gap and you're not in the A gap, the ball is going to go right there. It's going to go 100 yards. And that happened twice to us today. Just the way the game goes.
Anything else for Coach Brennan?
How do you think the 424 total rushing yards is going to impact you guys going into this next game?
It won't impact us at all going into the next game. It impacted us a lot today.
Well, how will it impact your defensive scheme going into next game, probably?
Everyone's different that you play. Wyoming's a way different thing, the people that you play against, and so, the hard thing is that we're going into Utah State, and they're a really good football team. So, I think our focus is going to be trying to find a way to slow down what they do.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Rob.
Could you describe that? It was you that stripped the quarterback near the 1-yard line there. Can you tell what happened on that play?
We had a wave pressure, so we were slanted. So I think I kind of came from the quarterback's blind side. He didn't see me. So as soon as he cut up in the hole, I couldn't fully get my body in front of him, but I stuck my hand in there. And as he ran, he bobbled and it bounced off his knee, and I pulled my hand out and he fumbled. So we just needed a play, and I just came up at a big moment.
It seemed like, at least for 3.5 quarters, the game pretty much turned on 2 plays.
Man, we were fighting. It was a battle down there in the trenches, you know. They were giving some, we were giving some, and then just 2 small plays, you know, long runs. We'll see it on film. We'll fix it. You know, just shout out to their O-line and their running backs for running hard. You know, they played hard, and they deserve to win today.
Did Wyoming pretty much do what you guys expected to see from them?
Oh, of course, we knew they were a downhill physical run team, you know, with a new quarterback that they inserted. He's a big dude, tough runner. He runs underneath his pads. So, I mean, we knew on film it was going to be a bar fight down there. And through 3 quarters, I mean, we were fighting just small plays, small details here and there, and they made the plays and we didn't, and that's what decided the game.
You had a couple key turnovers besides the one you caused. One in the second half, well, it helped. It didn't quite. You weren't able to convert and make those turnovers and make Wyoming really pay.
You know, all week we pride ourselves on just winning the turnover battle. You know, if we could just steal a couple possessions, because we know they're a running team, so they're going to try to bleed the clock out. If we could steal a couple possessions and give our offense as many possessions as possible, eventually they'll pick it up. Just today, we just came up short, and that's pretty much, we just came up short on offense.
Yeah, you did convert the one in TD late, and you were within a touchdown, 1 possession game late. That last drive, though, by Wyoming was a killer, wasn't it?
Yeah, man, we just got to, as a defensive line, we just got to get off the field, you know. I think they got the ball with 8 minutes left and drove all the way down the field. That's unacceptable. That's just willpower. They wanted it more. I mean, and just shout out, hats out to them, to their, like I said, their O-line, their coaching staff. They bled the clock, man, and we just got to make a play and find a way to get off the field, and we didn't do it. So we just got to get back to work, and hopefully we'll get better, have a good week of practice, and get ready for Utah State.
What was it like playing in the snow?
Man, that was my first time ever seeing snow in my life. So, you know, but at the end of the day, it's still football. After the first drive or so, it's, you know, it's just football. So, still 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense. So it really didn't matter after that first drive.
Good, thanks, Boogie.
Thanks.
It's 10-0 at half. You guys haven't moved the ball with much success. What changed in the second half?
You know, we just kept sticking with the game plan and kept fighting, and just knew that we had to step up for our defense and know that they're out there fighting every series and making stops, and we had to have it back. So that's what we did the second half.
You guys were able to open it up a little bit early. Field goal, now it's 10-3. And take us from there.
Yeah, we just got some momentum going, completed some passes. Line was holding up really well and able to find some guys downfield and make plays.
You took a lot of hits today and kept bouncing back. Pretty resilient guy. How'd you keep it going?
I just keep fighting for my guys. Those are my brothers in that room, that locker room, and I always get up for them every play.
Yet the hits affected some of your passes. Is that
I
fair to say?
I think some of them early affected my passes. Kind of like the couple early passes affected me, but other than that, I think I was fine. Just taking hits after I was throwing it or after the play.
Was it a case maybe, at least from the press box, it looked like the wind? It was what factor did the wind play?
It wasn't as bad as you think. I was able to really warm up before the game and figure out where it's coming from, and knowing how I need to spin it and cut through the wind. And I thought it wasn't that big of a factor.
Well, I didn't see very many guys slipping out there or losing the ball just because of the conditions. Is that fair to say?
I think one that I thought he slipped was the big one when Justin slipped on that big 4th down in the red zone. I think it was 4th and 2, and he slipped right there. But I think other than that, it was fine. And that was
Play in the snow very often?
Never played in the snow. Never been in falling snow before in my life.
Were you guys a little excited just to play in the snow?
Yeah, we were definitely excited. Yeah, I thought it was a challenge, but we know we could have done it, and just got to move on next week.
Anything else for Josh Love?
I think we're good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Josh. Okay, we're here with Josh Oliver, and Josh, tough day for the offense in the first half. What was Wyoming doing well?
They have a good overall defense. I think they're used to this rain. They're used to playing in that snow. They used that to their advantage early on. I think offense kind of started off slow, and we got moving later on towards the game, which is something we can do. So they were able to capitalize on that.
Second half, you guys were able to move the ball much more successfully, and looked like you had chances to throw the ball downfield. So what opened up, or how'd you guys open it up?
I just think schematically we were on top of things more than we were in the first half. We just were more ready, I think. It's bad to say. I mean, you want to come out of the first half, but that's just how it went this game.
What can you guys take from this game to get ready for next week against Utah State?
Just that fight that we never gave up during this game. We were able to come out in the second half. I think that's something we could move off of into the next game and hopefully capitalize and come out in the first half strong next game.
Great. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Troy, it's a challenging day for the San Jose State offense. Wyoming, one of the top defenses in the conference. So what was it like in the trenches today?
It was tough. We knew we were going to have a four-quarter fight. They're a very good, experienced defensive front. They have a lot of movement, and they're a really good team.
What worked well for San Jose State in the second half to allow the team to move the ball down the field?
We as an offensive line, we started hitting movement better. First half, we weren't hitting movement as good, and we weren't generating a run game. And then that was shutting down the pass game as well, because if you can't open up the run game, you can't open up the pass game. In the second half, we were hitting the movement much better, open up the run game, which then open up the pass game, which is why you saw that we had 13 first downs in the second half compared to 2 just in the first.
Even though it's a loss, what can the team take from today to build for next week?
I would say as an offense and as a team, we could take that second half. That second half is the team that is closer to who we are. The first half, I feel like maybe the weather, how cold it was, affected us a little bit, had a slow start. But the second half, we came out, we adjusted to their game plan, and we were starting to hit them in the mouth and started to move the ball. So we can take that second half team and then the fight that we never quit that game, and we can take it to next week.
Then lastly, you talk about the fight, the fortitude, and I mean, how much did it help that the defense was able to give you guys the ball a couple times?
Oh, defense played one hell of a game. They played really good. As offense, we gotta execute on all cylinders and be more consistent and help that defense out, because if we can't go on offense and move the ball, we're just going to keep the defense on the field all game, and they're going to get worn out.
Okay, great, Troy. Thanks very much, and good luck next week.
Thank you.